Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, today we are going to talk about semantics. In semantics, our today's topic is lexical semantics. Since we are talking about meaning and the representation of meaning, so it is very important that again we should talk about the difference between reference and sense. And then I'll move on to talk about the lexical relationships. Now, reference is there in the word. If you remember in my previous lectures, I gave you the example of the dog has ruined my blue skirt, and we identified that it had 5 different referents. Okay, so I talked about the situation in which there were characters like Mary, Sheila and Ken. So Mary is mother, Sheila is the daughter of Mary, and Ken is the name of a dog. And here when Sheila, who was upset, and Mary, when she asked her that what happened to her, she said that the dog has ruined my blue skirt. So here the dog, the word dog, which is a specific dog, which is a dog which lives in their house, is something which is specific, that is Ken. And then my blue skirt, so skirt, something which women wear, okay, it's a piece of cloth. And then blue is adding something to the meaning of the word skirt, that telling us the color of the skirt. And then has ruined, of course, is talking about the present time, so there is an event. So this is how we understood the concept of reference. Now if we move forward and we talk about lexical semantics, why I have brought the concept of reference and sense again here, because reference or reference is outside the mind. It is there in the world. It is there in the world. For example, dog, that you can see in the world. For example, mobile, that you can see in the world. For example, laptop or computer or desk or table or chair, all these words you can easily find them, or you can find their representation in the world. So we can refer to them, their reference are there in the world. But sense exists in the mind. For example, there can be different words, they can refer to the same entity, they can refer to the same object, but they may have different senses in the mind of a person. So here we divide between external semantics and internal semantics. So external semantics is outside the mind and internal semantics is inside the mind. So what we can see here is that external semantics is talking about the referents which are there outside the mind, in the world. So we can find their meaning in the world. Okay, so internal semantics deals with sense. So here, for example, the example is given of Shakespeare. We know that he is a very renowned dramatist in English literature. So somebody can call Bill, can call Shakespeare, can call Anne's husband, can call the author of the Hamlet. So when you say author of the Hamlet, you get to know, or you get a different sense in the mind. When you talk about Anne's husband, again you get a different sense. When you talk about Bill or Shakespeare, you get a different sense. So that is the difference between sense and reference. Now we should move forward and we should remember that there are different types of theories in semantics. For example, there are referential theories of semantics or denotational theories of semantics, and then there are formal theories of semantics. And then people who will say that everything exists in the mind, and there will be theorists who will say that something which is outside the world, okay, it is the different kind of representation. But there are people, they will say that everything is in the mind, so they will say there are no representations outside the mind. Now we should move forward to talk about lexical semantics. Lexical semantics deals with relationship between words. And again, they will say that in our mind, our mind works by making categorizations of the things. So we put different words, different categories of words into different in different places. For example, sometimes the phonology of a word helps us to understand that this word can belong to a this category. Sometimes semantic category of a word can help us that this word can fall into this category. So this is how different categories have been made. So in lexical semantics, our today's topic is hyponymy. Our today's topic is homonyms, homophones, homographs, antonymy, synonymy, and later on we will talk about componential analysis as well. Now the very first category is hyponymy, and remember that we have got three kinds of structures in our mind. For example, we have phonological structures. They are combined with the syntactic structures, and then syntactic structures, they are combined with the conceptual structures. So this is how the formation of a lexicon is made. For example, you can see here that there is a lexicon from bottom up approach. If we move from below to up, so we can find there is a lexicon, and from lexicon we have PS structures, meaning phonological structures, and SS syntactic structures, and then beside SS we have CS, that is conceptual structures. And when these three structures they are put together, we form a word, we get a word. So this is how words they work. Now the very first topic is homonyms. Homonyms are unrelated meanings of words that either sound the same. When they sound the same, they are called homophones, and when they are written the same, they are called homographs. Homonyms, they have got two categories, homophones and homographs. When they sound the same, they are called homophones. When they are same in writing, they are called homographs. So the example that David has given, it is the example of a word that is right. So on your right side you can see the orthography, that is right. So from right we can have, for example, conceptual structure, which can mean that it is correct. So when right, it is an adjective, it means correct, and when it is adjective, it also means opposite of left. When it is a noun, it can mean just or legal claim. In noun, it can have a meaning that is ritual. It can also mean craftsperson. And when it is a verb, it can mean place upright or put in writing. So just one word, right. The pronunciation is right, but it can have different orthographic forms as well. For example, R-I-G-H-T right, W-R-I-G-H-T right, W-R-I-T-E right. So W-R-I-T-E right means to write something. W-R-I-G-H-T right, it means a person, craftsperson. And when it means ritual, okay, R-I-T-E, so then it becomes a ritual. And correct, right, R-I-G-H-T, opposite of left, right, R-I-G-H-T, and legal claim, R-I-G-H-T. So homonyms, they have got two categories. Homophones, words which sound the same. Homographs, words which have same spellings. Okay. Then the other kind of lexical relationship is called polysemy. Polysemy means a word can have different meanings. All languages, they have got polysemic words. It is rare in any language that one word can have one meaning. Okay, words usually they have multiple meanings. Sometimes the context is altogether different. sometimes there are slight differences in the sense. So we need to understand, sometimes the context plays a very important role. For example, in polysemy, the example is given here. The example is that of a bark. So bark means a boat, bark means which is related to a tree, okay, or bark means of a dog when it barks. Again, it is noun as well as verb. Then there is a sentence, for example, and the sentence is that we were trying to see the office and see that if there are any bugs over there. So bugs, it has also multiple meanings. It means microphones, it means insects, and it means bugs in the computer. But when you are trying to see something in the office, so you are not looking for insects, you are not looking for computer bugs, you are looking for microphones. So polysemy is another characteristics of lexical semantics. Then we have got synonymy. 100% synonymy does not exist. Remember, there are slight differences and sometimes the context is different. Okay, so sometimes in one context the other word can be replaced and sometimes the other word cannot be replaced. For example, we have words like funny and humorous, enjoy and like, okay, peace and calm, but again it depends on the context. Okay, sometimes the words they are replaced within the context and sometimes words they cannot be replaced. So when the context is different, the meanings they will be changed. For example, the example given here is of a big and large. So big sister is different from a large sister. Okay, then example given here is of a little and small. Then for example, play. So play may allow performance as a synonym in a theatrical context, but move or action as a synonym in the context of a game. The verb play may be close in meaning to mimic in the context of imitation, while it could be substituted for feign in the context of false emotion or behavior. The other concept is called antonymy, and here we should remember there are some gradable antonyms and there are some non-gradable antonyms. For example, in non-gradable it means there is no midpoint, male and female, so there is no midpoint. Pass and fail, so either you pass the subject or you fail the subject, there is no midpoint. But in gradable, it means there is a scale, hot and cold. So hot is on the one part of the scale and cold is on the other part of the scale, and there is midpoint. For example, the word tepid, which is neither hot nor cold. Then good or bad, so something is either good or bad, then it means there can be another thing between them. Then there are certain words which are called auto-autonomous, like temper. One means of temper is to harden and the other means is to soften. Cleave. One meaning of a word cleave is to force apart and the other is to stick together. Sanction, to approve or to censure. So antonyms are gradable or non-gradable. They are the opposites. Okay. Synonyms talk about similarity. Antonyms talk about oppositeness. Then there is another lexical item which is known as hyponymy. So hyponymy is general to specific relationship. General to specific relationship. For example, there is a word mammal, and under mammal we can have cat, horse, dog, elephant. Under dog we can have Dalmatian, beagle, bulldog, Maltese. Then there is another word furniture, In furniture we can have table, wardrobe, chair, bookshelves. Under bookshelves we can have specific chairs. Under chair we can have specific chairs like armchair, high chair, okay, or rocking chair or recliner. So general to specific relationship is called hyponymy. And the relationship between, Dalmatian, Beagle, Bulldog or Maltese, they are hyponyms of each other. Then another concept is called Meronymy. Meronymy is whole part relationship. For example, face is a whole, eyes and nose, they are part of the face. Body is a whole, arms and legs, they are the part of the body. So whole part relationship is called meronymy. General to specific relationship is called hyponymy. Lastly, I should talk about componential analysis. For example, dictionaries in the past, they also defined the words talking about their meanings doing a componential analysis. For example, we have a boy. So boy is male, it is human, and it is non-adult. Man is male, adult and human. Same is the case with, for example, woman, that she is female, she is adult and she is human. But this kind of analysis these days people do not carry out, because it is very difficult for the dictionaries to carry out such type of analysis and write their dictionaries. So this is called componential analysis. Another example is of a chair. So chair has got back, it has got legs, it is for a single person, it is for sitting purposes, it has got arms. No, usually a chair does not have arm, and armchair, it has got arm. And again, armchair has got back, it has got legs, it is for a single person, it is for sitting purposes. Stool. So stool, it does not have a back, it has legs, it is for a single person, it is for sitting purposes, and stool also does not have arms. So when you categorize the things in this way, this is called componential analysis. In the end, as usual, I would like to summarize. We have started with sense and reference. Reference is in the world, sense is in the mind. Reference is external to the mind, sense is internal to the mind. Okay, then we moved forward and we talked about homonyms. Homonyms is of two types, homophones and homographs. Homophones have got same sounds, like right. Right means opposite of left, right means correct, right means legal obligation, legal right. And RITE, right, which means ritual, sounds are same, so they are homophones. Homograph, when the spellings are same. Okay, so for example, we have got WRITE, right, okay, which is to write something. Okay, and after that we talked about polysemy. Polysemy means multiple meanings. All languages, they have got polysemic words, they have got multiple meanings. Conceive in English, it has got multiple meanings. Then we have talked about synonymy. Synonymy means similar words. Okay, and I have said 100% synonymy does not exist in any language. So big and large, so big sister and large sister, they are not 100% the same. We have talked about antonymy. In antonymy we have read gradable antonyms and non-gradable antonyms. So non-gradable antonyms are male and female. There is no third thing that you can enter. But hot and cold, they are on two parts of the scale. So there is third word, that is tepid. Then we have talked about Meronymy and Hyponymy. So Meronymy is whole part relationship, and Hyponymy is general to specific relationship. Thank you very much.